lot of times when people talk about Ches Nissan, they speak about it as something shocking. And perhaps at the time it was shocking. I wasn't there. The very few people were actually present at the time. It wasn't a big crowd. Perhaps at the time it was shocking. But if you look back at it in context, it's not really surprising, because what the Rebbe said that day was what the Rebbe had been saying since day one. Meaning, since Yud Shvat Tavshin Yud Aleph. I mean, what did the Rebbe say after all on Ches Nissan? He said that you, as individuals, have to step up, take responsibility, and bring Mashiach. So the Rebbe put the responsibility, the onus, on every individual to do what? Nothing less than the biggest job, the ultimate job, the job of finishing the whole purpose of creation. And it's on you. But the Rebbe said that on day one. That was Yud Shvat Tavshin Yud Aleph. And the Rebbe made that very, very clear that was going to be the style of his leadership. And that was going to be the relationship between Rebbe and Chassidim in this generation. And, it's like, all of us have, bought an app, let's say, or used a website where they say, if you accept the terms and conditions, please click here. And you're eager to move on. You want to use the app. So you just click, yes, I accept. You're like, who reads it? You just scroll through, and just click, yes, I accept the terms and conditions, right? So everyone clicks yes, but nobody reads it. Well, the Rebbe gave the terms and conditions, and they're not even that long. The terms and conditions that the Rebbe gave day one of the first official Fabrengen of the Shvi was, here's the job. The job is nothing less than finishing everything that the whole world was created for, meaning Mashiach. Who's going to do it? We are collectively, but more specifically, every single individual. And that's it. Those are the terms and conditions. You want me to be Rebbe? You have to agree to those terms. And everyone said, yeah, we want you to be Rebbe. What did you just agree to? You agreed that you are going to take responsibility to be a Rebbe. Not just to have a Rebbe, to be a Rebbe. Now, maybe people don't use those isius. Maybe that's the problem, that we don't use those isius, so it's not so clear. But, Jonathan Sachs, all of a shalom, he said it in a way, and very, ephonymous kabel balabatisha isius. He said, good leaders make followers, great leaders make leaders, the Rebbe made leaders. But this is a Chassidish Fabreng, and I'll say it maybe a little bit more. Like I said, I removed the filter. Other Rebbes made Chassidim. The Rebbe made Rebbes. Lubavitcher Rebbe made Rebbes. The Rebbe said, Heshani Rabbah, the Rebbe was talking about why in the Hayem Yem, all of the sons of the Tzemach Tzedek have Titul Admur. They're all called Kvei Kedushas Admur. And that was under the instructions of the Frierdiker Rebbe. So the Rebbe says, what's the hater off from this? What do we take from this? That every single Jew has the title, the hispashtus, the power of the title Rebbe. It's interesting. That's what you learn from that. The fact that the Frierdiker Rebbe wanted that all the sons of the Tzemach Tzedek should be referred to as Rebbe in the Hayem. What does the Rebbe say that means? It means every single Jew has the title Rebbe. And that wasn't a Yetzim and a Klal. I mean, the base ear is coming up. Tavshin Memches in the Rebbe's home. The Rebbe in the Rebbe's home on President Street. The Rebbe was speaking base ear. The Rebbe said, Lechatchila Rebbe. What does Lechatchila Rebbe mean? As jeder Yid kann sich führen in Eifen von Lechatchila Rebbe, was heißt, azei wie a Nasi. That every single Jew can behave like a Nasi. And again, that's not a Yetzim and a Klal. To the Rebbe, the Amech Kulam Tzadikim was Kipshuta. The Amech Kulam Tzadikim is Kipshuta. I'm sure people have seen. If you haven't seen, you go look it up. I mean, the Gem put it out, the video, when the publisher from Toronto, from Lifestyles magazine, comes to the Rebbe. It was a couple months before Yud Aleph Nissan, before the Rebbe turned 90. So this guy, Gavril Erem, So Rabbi Krinsky introduces him. He says, "This is Gavril Adam from Lifestyles," and the guy says to the Rebbe, "What's the Rebbe's message in anticipation of the Rebbe's 90th birthday?" The Rebbe says, without even pausing, the Rebbe says, 90 is tzaddik. The message is every single Jew can be a tzaddik. And then, this Gavril Adam asks the Rebbe, "Okay, what's the Rebbe's message for the wider world?" Meaning, the non-Jews. The Rebbe says, them too. They can, except with Sheva mitzvahs b'nei noyach. The Rebbe's magdia, it's different mitzvahs. Tzaddik. So the Rebbe came along and had a completely new style of leadership, which was to turn every single human being into a global leader, a king. When the Rebbe spoke about Hakel, by the way, the Rebbe said, "Who's the Melech in Hakel?" And the Rebbe spoke about Hakel. The Rebbe said, "Gekocht in Hakel," right? And the Rebbe says, "We have Hakel today, but who's the Melech? You're the Melech." And each context, each home and an office and a shul and a community, wherever your sphere of influence, everyone, kol chad lefi shira delay, everything is context, but you're the Melech. You play that role. The Rebbe also would take stories of the Nasiya, stories that you would think of as, this is a story to tell me the hafla of this tzaddik, that you could never be as holy as that tzaddik. And the Rebbe would take those stories, like for me, the most ultimate story, because it seems the most unattainable, just so beyond. The Rebbe takes the story of the Alter Rebbe. Ich will mir nicht das dich allein. The Alter Rebbe, I don't even want Elam Haba, I don't want Gan Eden, I just want God. And the Rebbe tells that story, and in the Rebbe's birthday mind, right? The Rebbe takes that story and says, "What's that? That's you. That's your soul. Your soul just wants God. That's every single Jew." Or the Rebbe took the Chav Cheshvan story, the one about the Rebbe Rashab's birthday, about he was crying. Hashem shows himself to Avram. Why doesn't he show himself to me? Now, you should take that story. I would take that story and say, "Oh, such a special 5-year-old. The Rebbe Rashab was an unusual 5-year-old. The Rebbe took that story and said, you know what that is? That means that today, every single child can cry because he just wants Hashem." So the Rebbe made us Rebbes. The Rebbe took everything we think of a Rebbe and said, "No, that's you. That's you." The Rebbe, how many times did the Rebbe use the expression "shliach shel adam k'meiseh"? And with the additional word mamish, shliach shel adam k'meiseh mamish. What does shliach shel adam k'meiseh mamish mean? What does that? That just doesn't just mean that you get to do a job of a Rebbe. The Rebbe said you become a Rebbe. Tag, you're it. And by the way, everyone that the Rebbe met, what would the Rebbe always do? Deputize you. That's what the dollars were. The most simple, the Rebbe explained what the dollars were. You meet the Rebbe gives you a dollar to make you a shliach for a mitzvah. The Rebbe's making you a shliach, and shliach shalom k'meiseh. So it's like the whole model of leadership. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted this. Moshe Rabbeinu said halavai. Remember, Yeshua was going to kill Eldad and Medad because they were prophets of the Parshas Balei. And Moshe said, "No, halavai. I wish everyone were like that." But you don't see that Moshe actually made everyone like that. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says, "No, I'm going to talk and make everybody like that." I remember I was talking one time to Yasi Darren in Pittsburgh, and this is Siddish Hergation here, but he was talking about, the Alter Rebbe wrote a Sefer Shalbeinim, all learned Tanya, and but the Alter Rebbe wrote a Sefer Shal Tzaddikim, which was lost in a fire. He says, but you know what? We have Sefer Shal Tzaddikim. You know what Sefer Shal Tzaddikim is? Lekutei Sichos. Because when you learn the Rebbe's Torah, the Rebbe is talking to Jews with such awe, such respect, such dedicated, the Rebbe is setting the bar so high for every man, woman, and child. That is Sefer Shal Tzaddikim. The Rebbe is saying, you are it. You are it. There's so much. I know we're all limited to the half an hour, and I'm going to be respectful of the time. But there's much more to be said on this. I mean, there are limitless Madamikamis where the Rebbe spoke this way. It wasn't an exceptional thing. It wasn't a rare thing. I mean, the Rebbe spoke. Okay, just last week we had Yom Tov. When they open the Oren, we say, Rabbeinu Shalom, they open, right? What do we daven? We daven that the Eibusha should bench us in a manner of V'nacha olav ruach hava. That's Yeshaya Novi speaking about Malach HaMashiach, and we, as part of Nusach HaTfilah, say, no, that's not Malach HaMashiach, that's us. Now, I don't know how people read that tefillah for however many thousands of years. Comes along the Lubavitcher Rebbe and says, hey guys, take this seriously. You're talking about you. It's not somebody else. So I'll just wrap up and I'll say like this, the Sunday dollars after Chof Ches Nissan, a woman came to the Rebbe. And this is a video that's not as widely circulated because it's a painful video to watch. She had lost a child and she came to the Rebbe and she was begging, Rebbe, how can you like leave us? We need you to bring Mashiach. I want to see my son again. She had lost a child. To her, Mashiach meant the ability to see her child again. And she's crying. And the Rebbe said to her in an uncharacteristically stern way, the Rebbe said, and the conversation's in English. The Rebbe is speaking in English. The Rebbe says, if I'm a rabbi, then I have spoken clearly that it must be done by each individual, by this. The Rebbe starts pointing at everyone there, by this person and this person and this person. This is a broken-hearted woman who's begging the Rebbe who didn't sleep because he was taking care of not only the whole world, but of individuals, okay? So this is the Rebbe who took seriously every single individual's heartache and did everything possible to bring comfort to every individual. And a broken-hearted woman is saying, Rebbe, help me. And the Rebbe is saying, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. You want me to help you? Then it has to be done by this person and this person. If there were any other way to do it, trust me, that Rebbe's compassion would have allowed him to do it, but there's no other way to do it. And to say, well, how come the Rebbe couldn't just do it on his own? That's as silly as saying, well, why didn't the Eibusha just do it on his own? The whole idea is Dira b'tachteinu isn't just, b'tachteinu doesn't just mean where it happens, it describes the process of how. It's not just in the tachtenim, it's al yedei ma'aseh ha-tachtenim, through our deeds. And tachtenim loshin rabin, not just one person in Elam Hazeh, but by this person and this person and this person and this person. So this is the time to step up already and to acknowledge the title and the power that the Rebbe conferred upon every individual, every man, woman, and child. You were given this power. Use this power. This is your responsibility. This is every single individual's job. You are the global leader. You are the global leader of world Jewry. There is no one else. Bishvili nivra elam. There's no one else to put this on. And we have to think that way. And the Rebbe said it from day one. The Rebbe didn't surprise anyone. The Rebbe didn't bait and switch. This was the message from the very beginning. We can get over the shock. We can calm down. We can just take it seriously. Tag, you're it. The job's on you. The Rebbe gave you the power. The Rebbe told you who you are. That's it. Again, as I said, there's so much more that can be said about this. So many Makaides, so many sources. This is not something that came up overnight in Tafshin and Aleph.